A wild duck and a rooster laid an egg, and only allowed it to eat 3 small fish a day. If you are not full, you will be hungry with rainwater. The little hen is called Yiya, originally lived in a chicken coop in a farm. The daily work is to keep laying eggs, but Yiya is tired of this day. In order to escape, she has been fasting for 3 days. She longs to hatch a baby on her own eggs, looking forward to being able to go to the yard to forage on the ground. Finally, she couldn't bear it and fainted. In the evening, the farm owner took her out of the cage, then threw it in a pit in the wild. After the farm owner left, Yiya was awakened by the rain, but before she could rejoice in her new life, a one-eyed weasel stared at her, almost bit her neck in one bite. The frightened Yiya tried her best to climb up. Just at this time the duck appeared. He kicked the cart into the valley with one foot and just trapped the weasel, successfully rescued Yiya. It was from this moment, the tall and mighty image of the duck was engraved in Yiya's heart. The duck reminded Yiya to always guard against weasels. They are cruel and vicious and only eat live prey. After speaking, he turned and left. Then Yiya returned to the yard of the farm. But the chickens, ducks and dogs in the yard did not welcome her, said she should go back to the chicken farm and continue to lay eggs, also beat her up. The next day Yiya, who had nowhere to go, came to the forest, met Brother Otter. Brother Otter is the mayor of this area. After learning about Yiya's experience, Kind Otter also found a place to live for Yiya, said that the duck and his wife also lived nearby. The duck was originally the captain of the guard of the wild duck group, with a speed as fast as lightning, until the appearance of this weasel completely changed his fate. In order to protect the group, the duck fought with the weasel for 3 days and 3 nights, although he successfully scratched one of the weasel's eyes, but the duck's wings were also broken. In the end, this battle did not win or lose. After the duck was injured, unfortunately, he was caught by the farm owner and locked in the farm. Later he escaped and found a wife, but this night the weasel found the duck's nest, killed his wife while the duck was not at home. The duck, who rushed back, chased desperately. He flapped his wings madly but couldn't fly at all, can only watch his wife being taken away by the weasel in despair. After learning that the duck's wife was killed, Yiya came to visit, but unexpectedly found the egg in the nest. She knew that without the mother's incubation, this egg cannot survive, so Yiya took on the work of the duck mother. When the duck returned home in despair, but found that the little hen he had saved not long ago occupied his nest, and still helping to hatch eggs, he took a silent look and then turned and left. In order to hatch the eggs, Yiya, even if her stomach is hungry, I don't want to leave half a staff, and the considerate duck will send her small fish to supplement nutrition every day. At night, he fights with the weasel outside the nest to protect them. The weasel knows the power of the duck. If you can't find an opportunity, you can only leave angrily. This day the duck told Yiya, it's about to be a full moon night. The baby is about to break out of the shell, but the time of the full moon is also when the weasel is hungry. Yiya, who doesn't know the danger, said it's okay. Even if the weasel comes, I won't be easily knocked down. The duck said solemnly after the child was born, you just cross the forest to the east to the swamp. He didn't explain why they should go there, just say you will understand then. The weasel really came on the night of the full moon, and the duck has been waiting for a long time. A battle started again. Yiya was also attracted by the fighting sound. In order not to let the weasel find Yiya and the child, he led the weasel to fight on the mountain. Yiya worried about the safety of the duck and wanted to go up to help, but the baby is about to break the shell. The weasel's claws are very sharp. The duck was eventually defeated by the weasel. Both wings and feet were seriously injured, and was forced to the edge of the cliff. Just as the weasel launched an attack, the duck got up and jumped and didn't kick. Instead, the weasel bit his foot. The duck dragged the weasel and flew into the sky with all his strength. In order to protect the safety of Yiya and the baby, he decided to fall off the cliff and die with the weasel. In the end, Brother Duck died. This is his choice as a father, but unexpectedly, the weasel was still alive. When Yiya rushed over, the duck had been taken away by the weasel. Yiya, who was extremely sad, cried all night at the edge of the cliff. The next day when she returned to the nest, found that the baby was gone.